Real.
What?
Real.
Are we ready?
Hey, welcome everybody. It's another episode of No Driving Gloves. I'm still bouncing around, staying busy over here. Podcast studios are happening and we're recording, and the editor sometimes lacks, but we're getting stuff out to you. We've realized we're approaching that century mark for episodes, so we really appreciate a bunch of you hanging out with us and being there since the beginning, and those that have added on to the ride. If you hang around at some point during this podcast, we're doing a contest, giving away some Amazon gift cards. We're going to do $30 a week up to episode 100, and then the 100th episode, we're going to give away a $100 Amazon gift card. Stick around, find out the details on what you've got to do to get your name entered and a shot at those. That's kind of our tease. We don't get sponsored. Amazon's not sponsoring. We're buying this out of our own pocket. I'm just trying to get some listener numbers up and get the word out there.
Yeah, it's not shameless. We're not doing anything shameless. No.
Hey, I'll do anything for a buck. I'm not saying, we're all car guys. We all need something. Maybe we should do Summit Racing gift certificates. But
$20 is $20, right?
Yeah, $20 is $20, but we're doing 30. So you can spend 25 and cover sales tax.
What will you do for $30?
This is a family-friendly podcast, and I cannot discuss that. So, you guys been up to anything exciting or revolutionary or car-wise?
Just trying to get some parts ordered I'm having trouble getting. So, other than that, what's normal, right?
That seems to be normal in the car, trying to get parts. But if I understand, you've got a fabulous parts guy, because when I became available, you didn't need my services.
That's right. I ain't letting Chris go.
Crisco? That sounds delicious.
That's right.
You got anything happening, Derek?
No, not really. I've been, playing around with the new truck, playing with the Falcon. Put running boards on the truck. They look nice. Running boards really make a truck, Without them, looks kind of goofy.
Well, you're a shorter guy. You're a shorter fellow like me. It's kind of nice to have them. You got that Chevy.
GMC.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference.
Same thing.
Yeah, the grill looks different. They put a different grill in them.
Well, I was following one the other day, and I know it was a GMC because there were about 18 different gaps in the tailgate from the different ways you could fold it down.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got the year before that, so I'm good.
You saved yourself 85 pounds.
And a lot of haggling from me.
I'm just wondering what the repairs... The more things you have on a car, the more warranty repairs you have. So.
And when you go out of warranty, the more out-of-pocket repairs you have.
That's why you do what John does. You just trade them in every few years and just keep getting different vehicles. And
every few, I'm usually every year, but because of this new employment situation, I'm pulling my hair out. It's time to replace that SHO, and I can't do it. I don't have enough income right now. So that's a reminder about our Patreon. You can check our inactive Patreon page, but you can feel free to send us money there too. But
wow, really digging for it tonight.
Yeah, that's what John's been doing, is scraping for every nickel. Like I said a few weeks ago, got a newer idea going through my head. Might if I could speak, something might come of that. And been playing with some car guys around town and picking up a little bit of work. After about...
This is a family-friendly show. Could you rephrase that?
Nope.
Playing with guys.
That's what I heard.
Well, you guys were talking about Crisco earlier, so... And what was it? Now I'm... That previously edited comment has me so distraught and lost. I don't know where to go from there, but just working with cars, dealing with some collections, helping a buddy with a slot, or not a slot car, remote control racetrack that he's opening in Birmingham. I'm playing with cars on all levels and all sizes. Simulators, remote control, slot cars, full size, $10, $1 million, whatever's going on. Getting frustrated along the way, meeting some pretty dumb people at times, and finding some interesting stories happening out there. And that's going to, as we gently move into, I'm not going to...
Stupid people?
Stupid people, dumb stories. You know, there's 3 of us here. We've been playing in this hobby for a combined 75 or 80 years. I said to them on Monday, we've got to have some stories that just kind of seem unbelievable. You know, you hear them, and I'm not saying the one that, well, I had a buddy with a Porsche 928, and he left his wife and told his wife to, you know, sell it and send him the money, and then she sold it for $25 at the Quick Mart. Now, not that kind of story, but...
If anyone knows of a wife that is selling off a husband's car at that price, let us know.
Yes. Do you guys have any ridiculous stories that you're just begging to tell, 40 or 50 people about, or? No, okay.
Come on, Will. We know you got one.
Yeah, I'm digging on which one I'm going to tell.
I just kind of thought Will would take this as an opportunity to slam one of the big shows again. This seems to be a regular thing.
Exactly.
These guys are so stupid, they just don't understand social media.
Well, there's a lot of people right now that think probably every one of my customers is stupid. Just for the sheer fact of the sheer dollars that they spend on their custom cars. And, I hear it all the time. Why the heck's that guy going to spend that much money on that car? Because that's what the hell he wants to do. That's why he's going to do it. He wants something unique and different, and he don't want a Burger King cruising car and look like everybody else. I hear my customers are stupid a lot. I defend them wholeheartedly. If I was sitting here with millions and millions of dollars, you daggum right, that's where my money would be going. I'd be building badass cars and badass boats and everything else, and, I hear that side of it a good bit. And, I do remember, what year was this? I'm going to say it was 2007. Yeah, it was 2007. We had just opened Big Oak Garage, and we went to the swap meet in Moultrie, Georgia. And we were down there, we were selling a car, and we were buying a lot of parts for a 57 Chevrolet that we were building. We had Dan Chuck deliver a bunch of parts down there to save on shipping and whatnot. So we were down there, and we're walking through the swap meet, the cars for sale, and there is an 85 Chevrolet square body truck. And don't get me wrong, this was a really nice stock, been repainted, nice interior, 85 Chevrolet four-wheel drive truck. And they had 18.5 on the windshield. And I will never forget it to this day, thinking, what in the hell is there ain't nobody here that's going to give that much money for a square body Chevrolet truck. And, you look at them now and you wouldn't think that, but in 2007, that was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. And it's not crazy now, but it was then, because you could go buy a nice 85 Chevrolet four-wheel drive truck for $3,000 or $4,000. And I just remember my dad and I talking about that a lot and thinking, man, we won't ever see them trucks bringing that kind of money. But we're at that time now where they are, but at that time that was crazy.
That goes back to the old saying, which I think I'll say is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard said. You never pay too much. You buy too soon.
That's horrible.
Yeah, you paid $18,000 for it, 12 years ago. It's worth $18,000 today. Okay, but I think $18,000 would have bought me just a little bit more back then. I always have, okay, so I pay too much. If I buy XYZ car for $50,000 today, and that's double what they're going for, yeah, at some point those cars are going to be worth 50 grand, but 50 grand's only going to buy a $25,000 car. Once you throw in the economies of scale and inflation.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You bought the wrong car.
I've got one on buying the wrong car. I can't say too much about it, but one of the most intelligent things I've ever heard is you don't make the money selling it, you make the money buying it.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And when you're a car dealer, you need to buy it right, and you don't need to cry when it goes bad. But you just have to, again, there's one of the most intelligent things. You make the money buying it. Always, if you pay too much in the beginning, you can't make it up on the other end unless you want to hold it until it becomes worth that much money. Stupid things I've heard in my life.
Well, and the other thing to that is, of course, my experience growing up at a restoration shop. If you're going to buy something and you're going to buy it for top dollar, make sure you know what condition the car is in and what quality it is, because there were more than a handful of times, probably two handfuls, 2 footfuls worth of times that we would have cars come into my dad's restoration shop, and the one that sticks out right now, the best in my memory, is it was 68 to 72 GTO, that body style of GTO, and the guy it was a Southwest car, so a dry climate car, and was a great condition and had been restored and all this stuff, and he had it sent to my dad's shop to check it out and just make sure it was running right, all that good stuff. When you open the hood and actually get into it and start looking, well, we found the 2x4 shim in the where the fender bracket should be, so that the fender didn't flap around in the wind, and dents that you could see from the backside of the fenders and quarter panels that were just full of mud on the outside to make it look like it was well restored. And it's one of those bought at sight unseen things for top dollar, and you don't know what it is, and you wind up dumping another as much as it's worth into it to fix all the problems that are left behind. That's one of my all-time biggest probably pet peeves with people is, oh yeah, the ad says it's a perfect restoration, no problem, and you get to it and look at it, and it's like, well, yeah, it might be restored, but it's not restored right, not even close.
Yeah, I've had cars come in the shop that were ready to paint, and man, just nightmares. Absolute nightmares. Chicken wire and Bondo, car tags in the floor pans, just you name it. We've seen it all. Steel wool. I pulled steel wool and Bondo together, and it's some of the stuff people do is just really bad, and these guys have paid good money to have work done, and it comes into a shop like ours where we take our pride in doing everything right, and sometimes that customer's just like, no, I can't afford to redo everything, and then some of them are just like, fix it right. I actually had one car that came in one time that the they had reskinned the deck lid, and they cut the lip off that you hammer over the structure on the skin, and drilled holes about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches away from the edge, and spot welded the deck lid skin on the structure. And the bad thing about it, we didn't figure this out until after the car had been painted. And so the car had been painted, and we went to a car show, and it was extremely hot. And we got back to the shop, and I noticed a crack in the deck lid, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" And luckily, I told the customer, if we don't take it all the way down to metal, then I can't warranty what's underneath it. And so anyway, come to find out, it gotten hot, and everybody knows when a car gets hot, it moves. The sheet metal moves. It goes up and goes down and forward and side to side. And the metal had moved so much it had cracked that spot weld where they had spot welded the skin to the structure on the top side. And, we had to go in there and basically take the skin off and buy a new deck lid skin, fit it to the car, which is a finished car, so you can't touch the body. You can only touch the deck lid. And you want to talk about a nightmare. That was a nightmare.
I can kind of top that body work. Years ago, I came across a Mustang for sale, and it had all the rust repaired up. Somebody had come along and welded new quarters on it and put new front fenders on it and new door skins on it. But something looked a little bit off. They welded them over the old fenders.
I've seen that done.
They've never.
No, come on. That's not wrong. That's just creating a new body design. Okay, they're really going for the wide body look.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go, because Will and I, last time I was up at his shop, we had a discussion, and it's about the Rocket Racing Wheels Camaro. He's up there, and Will tell me if I have to edit it, but they're doing a wide body on it. And
apparently you don't get on Facebook or Instagram today.
I saw it today. That's why I'm kind of bringing it up. Okay. I'm just making sure that I can say that you guys did a wide body, and you did it right. You brought the fenders out. You massaged it around the wheels. It's not a wide body. When you tack on fender flares, a la Liberty Walk, a la Chrysler and their wide-body Challengers, whether it be a Hellcat, a Demon, a Red Eye, I don't care. When you put plastic fender flares on it, it's not a wide body. It needs to flare out, and there needs to be some body work done. It's, that's one of my pet peeves, and if you want to talk about something that it just irks me every time somebody talks about their new Challenger wide body and it's got the plastic fender flares on it. Give me a break. They couldn't stamp new fenders for it. But Derek's right. That's exactly what they did. That's what was off. Is this Mustang probably was a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch wider. Hey, you get an extra, go ahead and put 225s on there instead of 215s or something.
I haven't seen fenders done that way, but I've seen quarter panels done that way, where they just set the old quarter on, or the new quarter on top of the old quarter and just weld it up. And man, I tell you, butt welds is where you have to butt weld panels. If you start lap welding panels, especially in the middle of a freaking quarter panel or a deck lid or a door skin or something like that, when the sun hits it, you're going to see a line there. There's nothing you can do. And, I don't know how many door skins we've cut off because people's just bought the door skin bottoms and put them up there and plug welded them and stitched them up and lap welded it. And, it don't work. It don't work.
Well, I thought you bought those tools from that famous restoration supply company in Pennsylvania that look like vice grips, and you just go down and it makes this little step that you can.
I do have a pair of those. They're air operated, but it's for doing floor pans and stuff like that, and it's not for the outside bodywork areas for sure.
I thought that's what the picture showed me. Guess I'm wrong.
Well, you can do it that way if you're a half-ass.
And if you want to talk about where you started there, steel wool and stuff, one of my best stories of restoration, and one of the funniest thing, and maybe I've alluded to it or discussed it before on the podcast. Heck with alluding to it. Back when I was working in Kansas, and I was at McPherson, and I was doing had my night job working in a restoration shop there. We got this Thunderbird in, and it had been restored at one point in its life. We pulled a screen door out of it. Literally, we pulled an entire screen door, less the handles. The frames of the screen door, the metal channel that goes, surrounds the screen door, they were used in the rockers. The screen from the screen door was used in the doors as filler. The perforated panel that's on the bottom of 50s era, or whatever you call it, that textured panel from a 50s era screen door, it was used as patch panels. It's just everything of the screen door was in this Thunderbird. And, we joked about it, getting into, blasted it and got, found the filler and, dug out on the door and took, oh yeah. By the time we were done, we had a screen door for the shop. It was just, and it's the stupid, ridiculous things you encounter where, what even possesses you to go, I got a screen door out back. Can't you order up a piece of aluminum channel? If you're going to use aluminum in a rocker anyway, I don't even get the logic in doing that. That screen door was probably worth $5, and even if that was a lot of money, it'll eventually, be worth $5 if you just wait long enough. Alluding to there.
So, this used to be pretty popular to do. I actually never done it. I always kind of thought it was kind of cheating. But, pocketing firewalls has always been kind of a necessity in hot rodding. We pocket every firewall because we set the motors way back and want, better weight transfer and ride and handling capabilities and stuff like that. But people used to go buy metal wheelbarrows and weld them in their firewall for pocketing a firewall. Mm-hmm. Now, guy at home, I get it. That's because it's got a neat look to it, and I've actually built some firewalls that kind of look like a wheelbarrow. But just build the panel. It's going to be cheaper in the long run to just go buy some sheet metal and bend it up yourself, and you're going to learn how to do it. You're teaching yourself how to do something different, and so I don't necessarily think that's wrong, but it's kind of the easy way out and cheating. What do you think? Do you think that's wrong or not?
In today's world, I don't think it necessarily is. A wheelbarrow as a, for a tunnel or something like that, or giving you that dish, that seems very rat rod. Now, I know your opinion on rat rods and things like that. That just seems like somebody would do something somebody would do now as a rat rod. And, I guess some of the stuff that we're criticizing here is done in the rat rod industry. But again, we've talked about rat rods on a previous episode, and a rat rod done right, it's okay. I don't care if you've welded a stop sign into the floor of your rat rod if it's done with that intention. If you welded a stop sign into the floor pan of your 66 Mustang, just because you didn't want to go buy a piece of sheet metal or order pans from, Mustang Sally or whoever sells Mustang parts, there's a problem. So.
Yeah,
but here's two ways I look at it, though. Is number one, even if it's not in the rat rod industry, even if you're doing it as let's not call it a high end build, but a well done build, but you're doing it out of a creative license where it's a unique feature on the car. I can see it being interesting, but also, I mean, if you're really just looking for a piece of sheet metal that's shaped in that way, I mean, you're not welding the whole wheelbarrow in with the rolled edges and everything, but you're actually cutting out a panel of it and using it, stripping it and painting it the same as the car. How many people are going to actually notice that it's truly from a wheelbarrow?
I mean,
you know what I mean? It's a stamped
don't.
Piece of sheet metal.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of looks right at home if it's done right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look at it and tell if it's a wheelbarrow or a hand fabricated piece. I mean, I should be able to with what I do for a living, where the normal person's not ever going to know. If, like you said, they cut the roll off of it and butt weld it in place and make it look nice and paint it nice. Like I said, I've seen it done a bunch. And I don't necessarily think that it's totally wrong. I just think it's cheating a little bit,
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it's not cheating. For those of you at home that want to practice, we suggest buying the plastic wheelbarrow first.
Right.
Working with that, then moving your way up to sheet metal.
If you own a Corvette especially.
Yes, just fiberglass that bad boy in.
Plastic wheelbarrow works for the plastic cars.
Exactly.
I'll tell you something else I've seen a lot of, and this is bad if people do it, is putting fiberglass over steel. Because all it does is hold in moisture and it rusts behind, it rusts behind the fiberglass. And oh my God, I've seen it done so many times. And that is 100% the totally wrong way to repair sheet metal. You have to repair sheet metal with sheet metal.
I just don't get where you're getting this stuff, Will. We might have to throw you off the podcast with this crazy stuff you're talking about.
Now, wait, before we get too far here into anything else, because we've talked about metal, quarter panels over quarter panels, fenders over fenders. The stupidest things I've seen done, and in my opinion, it was dangerous because I was the one doing the work, and I was the one that, nearly got injured and nearly, completely lost a car. But I was working in my dad's restoration shop, and it was, I'm not going to remember the year of it, but it was a MG, I think it was an MGB convertible. We were restoring, my dad, one of his clients was an MG collector, kind of small British sports car collector. And he bought this car, brought it over to Dad's, restore it. I want it to look good, be a good driver, all that. Needed floor pans. So I was cutting the floor pans out, and I mean, it was within the first couple, minutes of, or, moments, let's call it, of starting to cut the floor pans out, that I realized something was not quite right, but I couldn't figure out what it was until there was a small fire. And when I tried to figure out why, and I started to pull the floor pan back, and there was actually basically like a backdraft of fire that blew out at me. They had welded floor pans over the old floor pans after they undercoated in between them. And the undercoat was literally burning in between the floor pans. Luckily, the car had already been stripped and nothing else caught on fire under the dash, anything like that. I was able to put it out. But it was just absolutely ridiculous. Just that metal over metal, but then sandwiching like a rubberized undercoat in between was just, it was just insane. And it shocked me as soon as it had, because of course I get this big plume of fire that shoots out. And I'm just thinking, my God, had the like underside, all the wiring under the dash been there, that whole dash would have gone. It was just ridiculous and absolutely stupid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was good times. You do that all the time, right, Will? Rubber, undercoat, then another.
Yeah, that's the proper way to do it.
Yeah, you really got to seal the in between up. You don't want corrosion.
Well, I've been watching a lot of videos on building recording studios lately, trying to improve quality of the podcast. And that's what you do. You take a room, and then you build a room inside that room, and you like insulate with rubber between the two rooms. It just makes the car sound better. It's quieter. It's dampening.
Oh, it was sound deadening. Oh. Well, I screwed that MG up. Sorry.
Yeah, that reminds me of the meme. Speaking of stupid things, a friend of mine just got his new Jaguar I-Pace, and he was pointing out some of the little bits of irony in a electric Jaguar. The company that invented Lucas Electronics or used Lucas Electronics is now having an electric car that depends entirely on Lucas. I don't know about electric British cars at this point. It's just, I don't know. One of those things that...
Well, I think it's for people who like to gamble. You never know if the car is going to run when you go out there or not. So, it's for people that really like to risk it in life.
I still don't know about electric cars, period.
They seem to be pretty popular.
The ones from the early 1900s are fantastic.
You really like to jump to those early 1900s. That might be one of the stupidest things I... Oh, wait, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Zara keeps telling me, inside your head voice.
They're pep, man. You get in like a 1922 Detroit Electric and throw that gear lever forward and off you go. Don't even have a clutch to have to let out. Just instant go.
How far could you go?
Well, as far as you want.
16, 17 miles, right?
No. With a brand new set of batteries, back in the 1910s and 20s, brand new batteries, full charge. A lot of those cars would go between 75 and 100 miles on a charge.
Wow.
Yeah, but they didn't have recyclable batteries. That was the latest thing I heard. We don't have to worry about the batteries going away anymore or disposing of them because they're all recyclable. I don't know if that's true or not. It just seemed like, we're trying to come up with all these, crazy excuses or trying to figure out how to make the electric car green, even though they semi are, semi aren't. His other comment about his Jaguar I-Pace is, what technological breakthrough had to become necessary so that they could build an electric Jaguar? They had to come up with a way to make it leak oil. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, God.
What is this, Bash Jaguar or not?
Yeah, just stupid things. And frankly, just kind of find it's not necessarily stupid, but I don't know if I still don't know if I really want an electric Jaguar.
I'll tell you what, man, I might be sold on fixing stuff with ramen noodles. I don't know if y'all seen the latest craze on this.
Wait, what?
Fixing
ramen noodle?
Yeah. Fixing holes in floor pans and bumpers and everything with ramen noodles.
Where'd this come from?
I'd seen a video on Facebook. Imagine that.
Oh, God.
That seems a little bit like all of a sudden we got this idea of hemp body panels. And yes, Derek, I know Henry Ford did a hemp car, and Cheech and Chong did a hemp car, but all of a sudden with all
now wait, see with the well, see, now you're talking about the ramen noodle repairs, the let's call it organic plastics, soybean, hemp, all those. I thought we were going to go to, you heat up your ramen noodles in the water, you get your ramen noodles out, you take your hot water out to your organic plastic-bodied car that has a dent in it now, you pour the hot water over the plastic panel and then pop it out, and boom, you're done, you got dinner, you got your car fixed, all is good.
Intended moment of silence there. We're letting that joke die.
Will's not even listening. He's on YouTube or Facebook or something. He's over there looking for his ramen noodle repair manual.
I got to send it to you guys.
Oh, I was going to say we discussed that. Will doesn't do Facebook personally. If it wasn't for one of his guys in his shop, I don't even think Big Oak would do Facebook. Be honest, if it wasn't for my fiance, I wouldn't do Facebook or Facebook for No Driving Gloves.
I actually do the Big Oak Facebook page. I just don't ever put nothing on my personal Facebook page. So.
Well, that's part of the life of a shop owner, warning everybody. That means Will has no personal life because he spends all of it at the shop. That's part of owning your own business, I guess.
It is what it is.
Well, I'm going to spin us into the tease from the beginning of the show as we wind down here. I'll do this, and in case we then might have another dumb thing or something to talk about before we close it out. But in celebration of our 100th episode, Will, Derek, and I got together and brainstormed, and we came up with this idea. We're going to give everybody, we're going to give away $30 gift cards every week up until episode 100. And what we're asking the listeners to do is you take our episode or any episode of our catalog, go through, go to nodrivinggloves.com, pick an episode, share it on your social media, and tag us in it. And social media to us is Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Just those three social media. Share it on one of the big three, FT or I. Yeah, Fit. That's it. Share it on Fit, and we'll check the hashtags, or we'll check the little @ things, and we'll choose somebody who shared it, and you'll get a $30 gift card, and then we'll contact you, and we'll go on. And like I said, you can win the $30 gift card once. Then everybody who's posted over the next 7 weeks or so, this is episode 92. Is eligible for the $100 card, and we'll get it emailed to you, and you've got a couple of bucks to spend on Amazon for telling everybody about your favorite automotive podcast, No Driving Gloves. So just remember, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, tag No Driving Gloves, and share your favorite episode of the show. It could be this one, it could be episode 10, just anything that's published on our catalog, share it out. Did you guys have anything else, or are we going to call it a night?
I mean, I think the stupidest thing I can think of right now is three guys that would just give away their hard-earned money just to get some listeners. But I don't really know anybody that does that. So
you're promoting your personal brand.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm a brand. Yay!
Will has a brand. I forced myself into a brand when the Corvette fans run you out of the museum for putting a British car in there, and stagecoaches.
So far, so far most of them have liked it.
Yeah, but I haven't come and visited it. All my Corvette gear, my Corvette underwear, and my Corvette bra, and my Corvette socks, and my Corvette shoes, and my Corvette watch, and my Corvette sunglasses, and my Corvette earrings. And
don't even drive a Corvette.
If you need any of that, we sell it in the store. So
Oh, so I don't even have to own it. I can just go in, try it all on in one of your fine dressing rooms.
There you go. We have two of them, actually. If one's full, you got another one.
Do y'all sell Corvette toilets?
I don't think so, but I can look into that. We might sell toilet seats.
I was all of a sudden going,
Look
why
into
am
it.
I Googling Corvette toilet seats? And actually, it is a search. It comes up in Google. There are Corvette toilet seats. There are Corvette toilet paper holders.
I'm hoping the Corvette toilet seat is made from actual, like, leather that they use in Corvettes. Like, I think that would be the classy way to go.
It'd be the plastic they make them out of.
Well, actually, Will, there is a Corvette-powered bathroom on, I guess at one point on eBay. It has a toilet, it has a tub, it has a Corvette motor in it. And
I am not surprised.
And 4 wheels. And then there is the toilet seat that is leather covered. Excuse me. The Corvette bathroom actually has 2 clawfoot bathtubs. And if you're interested, 100 rolls of toilet paper will fit in a C6 Corvette. Yeah. And I guess we're making fun of. Oh, there's also a La Corvette soap, but we're making fun of Corvette. And I guarantee you, if I did the same thing and put the word Ferrari there, it would be the same stuff. But
Or Lotus.
no, I don't know. Well, I do know there's Lotus toilet seats. I don't.
I bet you there's a lot of Lotus stuff out there.
Okay, I was going to say there's a Corvette toilet brush, but it's actually Tales from the Toilet Bowl is the...
Hey, newest stupid thing. Podcasts that waste their time giving stupid facts about Corvette toilet seats.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I just learned about this. It's not Corvette related other than it was posted to the CorvetteForum.com. But they have the Roto Wipe. Say goodbye to costly toilet paper. With that, I'm going to... You put the image in your mind, and you'll have to wait till next week to have...
Is it LS powered?
Please say you're out, John.
Well, the next picture is of the National Corvette Museum restrooms, and urinals. So, yeah.
Is it LS powered?
I don't know. Are they? They seem to be checkerboard tiled walls. I'm out. I'll talk to everybody next week.
See you later.
Adios.